All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse the Abba. There is one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Psalms 138. I will praise you with my whole heart before the gods. Will I sing praise unto you? I will worship to. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Psalms 137. I'm sorry. By the rivers of Babylon, there have we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remember Zion. Amen, Brother Reynolds. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us mirth. Sing us of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing Yahuwah song in a strange land? If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget. If I do not remember you, let my tongue, cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Yahuwah, the sons of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy that rewards you as you have served us. Happy that take and dash your little ones against the stone. Jeremiah 38. Let me make sure that's what I want. Let me make sure I got what I desire. 38:9. Hey, y'all children, be quiet. You ain't got no business or reason to be talking in here. You ain't got no business. Be quiet. And if I have to reference you being quiet again, then I'm going to just call you over here, and I got 4 fingers, and I'm going to pop you dead in your mouth with them. Y'all understand? Are we good? So keep your mouth closed. I don't want to hear it. Y'all don't have nothing to talk about. You have no business. You barely have coherent thoughts. Say, my Lord the King, these men have done evil in all that they've done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they've cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for no more bread in the city. The king commanded Abed Malik the Ethiopian, said, take his 30 men, take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he dies. I think I skipped the part what I wanted. Hey, be quiet, boy. Ain't nobody playing with you. I missed over what I wanted, and that was it. There we go. 38 and 5, excuse me. See, then they're going to think that they need to be exempt. So you're going to have to go over there with the rest of them, because there's not separate rules for separate people. Then Zechariah the king said, behold, he is in your hand, for the king can do anything against you. Then they took Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchi, the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords, and the dungeon was no water, but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire. See, we just want to come in here and talk about mire. That's why we swung back over here. Hey, come here so I can pop you in your mouth. Come on, Joe. Joe. Come here. Come on. No, don't cover your mouth up. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. Be quiet. If I tell you again, that's what's going to happen. You got did like that, Joe, because you thought it was a game. The word for mire is teat. Tet, yod, and tet. And you can give me what you got. That's mud, that's clay, that's mire. He's sunk in the clay. So you hear sunk in the clay, that's sunk in the earth. If you're sunk in the earth, then you're sunk in the grave. That's why there's no water there. But tet, or teat, tet, yod, and tet. Oh, that boy making demands. It's okay, Abigail. Sean has to be encompassed by the work of the serpent.
Yeah, so the work of the snake was 6 men.
Or to be encompassed by the work of the serpent. Now let's look at a rationale for that particular statement. Let's come over here to John chapter 10, and then we'll move over to the 39th chapter of the book of Jeremiah. John 10 and 7. Oh, you want to get out, don't you? Ain't nobody playing with you, because if you're going to sit there and play them type of games, I'm going to give you what you're playing with. Shalom, man. You need to stop playing all the time, Eugene. Well, at least playing with grown people. Play with your friends. Don't play with grown people. Look at me, Eugene. You understand? We grown. Ain't nobody playing with you. You're going to know if somebody playing with you when they grown. And ain't nobody playing right now, Eugene. Look at me when I'm talking to you. It's rude. Stop doing that. How old are you, boy? You too big for that, ain't you? 10 and 7. You too big for that, ain't you, Eugene? Well, stop playing all the time. Then said Yahushua, this is John 10 and 7. Then said Yahushua unto them again, truly, truly, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief come not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might be that they might have life, and they might have it more abundantly. So he's letting you know that the thief or Satan comes to steal, because everybody say Satan, but you know that's who he's referencing. He just calls them the thief. But you have to look at what makes Satan a thief. Do you recall we just looked at something the other night talking about thieves? That was in Lamentations of Jeremiah with the thieves. But why is Satan a thief? What makes him a thief? You can be a liar and not be a thief. You can be a thief and not be a liar. He can't steal that from you because you had to give that away. It's something that you have to think real closely. It's very apparent. No, I mean, it's both, because, I mean, I know niggas who stole ain't never lied. They took your junk and then looked you in your face and told you they took it. No, you're a thief. You don't have to deceive somebody to steal. Thieves just take.
Like if a nigga robbed
Nigga, I never deceived Toys R Us when I walked in there and took wrestling men up out of there. Nigga, I took that. They didn't think nothing because nobody asked me. What? All the time. Take the men right out of the package, put them in my pocket and leave. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Well, closed. Nigga, this is 1989, nigga. This nigga talking about why they closed now. All right. Well, what's KFC reason for? Because nigga, I hit them across the head daily. McDonald's daily. They still going. And I ain't lie about none of it. They say you like this here, you taking money. I sure did, nigga. Shoot, you just caught me on this one. That's it. Sting. They ain't never come and ask till after it was over with. You been shoot. Then you got niggas who rob. Scammers ain't lying. You do not. The scammers get you because you lied to yourself by your own greed. They presented you an opportunity that seemed too good to be true, and you were too greedy to not be stupid. Somebody else, you know what I'm talking about? Well, they might be. Oh, I've been talking about you got some. I mean, that's different. I ain't even lying. That's just scamming.
It's different forms of scamming.
It's multiple forms of scamming.
So I know niggas like, hey man, I got opportunity to get your money. Just give me.
Yeah, I was just telling them. You got people online to tell you they private money lenders. Send me $1,500 and we'll send you the money. You know what I'm saying? A fraud. You know what I'm saying? And you know how most people get swindled? Because your own greed. So I don't even blame the scammer. I blame you. No, I say that there because scammers and grifters and fake gurus and all that type of stuff, they play on your desire to get wealthy with the least amount of work as possible. You know what I'm saying? So they play on people's greed. That's why I done told you. I done told you this before. A nigga come to me with an opportunity and all he can tell me about is how much money I can make. I'm already out. Because anybody who has a legitimate business opportunity is not coming to you telling you about how much money you're going to make. Or at least if they do, the numbers are going to be so detailed that you know that this person actually took the time to tell you this is what could happen. This is what we project to make. This can happen if this, that, there, and the third. That it's going to be detailed. It's going to be like, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. We can make $1 million in 12 months. I already know this nigga just talking. You know what I'm saying? If nigga telling you we projecting revenue, this, that, there, and the third. No, the one thing about it, the devil can't steal your faith because he can't steal what you never had. He didn't steal your inheritance either because you gave it away. You gave it away. You know what I'm saying? Because you gave it away because of the things that you desire. Because the reason why, number one, I'm mentioning this here is because you need accountability. But to get back to the question at hand, what makes Satan a thief is Satan stole the words of Yahuwah and represent them as if they are his own. Because that's what he did in the garden. He stole the word of Yahuwah. That's what he took. Oh, you don't believe me? Come look at it. Come look at Genesis chapter 2. Look at what he stole. Yeah, he steal the words of Elohim and make them as if his own. But if you forfeit your inheritance at the root, Satan can't do nothing but tempt you, and that's it. He can't take anything from you. He can't take anything from you that you don't give him. You know what I'm talking about? We give Satan too much credit. That's why people don't have accountability for their life. That's why niggas still be grown blaming their parents. You know what I'm talking about? Grown blaming the ex. Grown blaming this person and that person. No, nigga, that's you, cuz. That's you. That goes back to what I was telling y'all last night. If you haven't got your desired outcome, you would need to look at what did you do to precipitate that situation and circumstance to where the desired outcome didn't come about. And I would guarantee you 10 times out of 10 that you would have played a major role in what went down. That's if you just look at it from the standpoint of, I'm not going to look at what this other person did, even if the other person is wrong, because what good is that going to do for you to focus on what this person did? I'm being honest with you. When you do that, that's a sign of low character. That means your people ain't raised you right. They raised you to be a victim. You know what I'm talking about? And you could never do anything of note when you walk around being a perpetual victim. Woe is me. Look what they done to me. I can't do nothing because they did this to me. That's very, very weak character trait. You definitely wouldn't want that in a husband. And you sure as doodle don't stink want that in a wife, because she going to make your life miserable. The man's going to make that woman's life 3 times as miserable as being a perpetual victim. But that woman going to suck the life out of you. It's forth as a man, you're not going to have any motivation to want to do anything, because all she's going to be complaining about is what happened to her and why she ain't got it. That's what we were listening to. That nigga Jason Black told them, and I told you this before too, because I agree with it. He told them women, stop going to female therapists. Hold on. He said he told the leader of assembly he'd been going to Ezekiel 28, talking about the Messiah. He said he was a borderline heretic. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why he was saying this here, because y'all notice that I told you this before. Y'all don't hurt each other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and the point that he mentioned, no, y'all hurt each other's feelings in a different fashion. Not when it's about making your life better. Y'all ain't too many times gonna look no woman in the face and give her pure, unadulterated, unsplit truth. You know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, you ain't got no husband because of this. Oh, your children act like this because of this, and zeroing in on what she's doing and not passing the buck off to the man or to society or this, that, and the third. More women ain't gonna do that. But it was something that he mentioned when he was talking about how people be wanting to be like a female therapist to tell you go work out your issues with your mama, when a man will tell you, man, deal with that junk and go on about your life. Talk to her for what? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna talk to her and then what? Because a man knows that whether you talk to this person or not, what if this person doesn't want to talk to you? You still would need to resolve this matter and move on with your life regardless. Because, you know, you don't hear men walking around saying this certain word that women love to say that they desire, and that's closure. What the hell is that? I need closure. It's already closed. It doesn't happen. You know what I'm talking about? If a nigga robbed you and you talking about you want him to go to prison for closure, it ain't nothing closed. That nigga robbed you. Your stuff is gone. You know what I'm talking about? Whether he go to jail or not is not going to assist in what you got going on in your brain. You know what I'm saying? You know, you hear a lot of people say that somebody get killed. I need closure. We need to find out who did it. They ain't going to bring that nigga back. You know what I'm saying? You thinking that that's going to make yourself feel better if somebody gets locked up. But it's don't. It usually don't. Because what's making you feel better is your desire for revenge. And I get it. Nigga kill your people. I get it. Hey, man, I want that nigga to go to jail. Or I want somebody to kill him. But is it actually going to heal what you got going on in you because this nigga's in jail? Usually not. Because you got people walking around here still broken up by somebody who's been dead for 10, 15 years. This nigga been dead. Nigga ain't nothing but bones in that casket now. And you still stuck in 2012. Well, you better move on. You can't live life like that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that Satan does is once he steal the words, and when I say steal the words of Elohim, he take them and bend them. Now, like I said, right, Brother Saran just said, brother told him he was a heretic. You know what I'm saying? Because he said Ezekiel 28 is about Mashiach. But see, I can understand why he was like this here, because you're not accustomed to somebody telling you that. See, I'm going into it expecting that to be said. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look at him and laugh and go about my business. I said Genesis 2, I mean chapter 3. But the reason why he mentioned that more than likely is, again, ascribing too much credit to an enemy. See, the reason why I'm mentioning that is when you ascribe so much power to Satan, you are playing victim. You're saying that this man is victimizing you. Satan is not victimizing anyone. You're victimizing yourself. Oh, you don't know how to conduct yourself, boy? Because we got somewhere for you. This ain't no playhouse, boy. Don't look crazy now. Because we dole out in here, boy. And you're going to be right outside. Ain't nobody finna hit you, boy. You looking crazy because you know you're wrong. See, that's my point, what he doing. See, right now, he trying to play victim. Let me make the sad face, pull up some tears, somebody feel sorry for me. Y'all ever seen a nigga go to jail and he be doing all that crying, go to court, do all that crying, and guess what happened? That nigga still going to book it. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't gonna take the cuffs off because you're crying. You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, no, I understand their point of view. Most of their point of view surrounding that matter is not rooted in no text. It's rooted in that's what somebody told them. They didn't necessarily precept it out. They just seen heart lifted up and just automatically ascribed that to Satan and not looking at it from the aspect of if you really, really trust in Elohim and other people don't, they will view you as being a proud and arrogant individual because as we discussed in Proverbs 28, you know what I'm talking about? The righteous are bold as a lion. So your confidence and your security in Elohim is so strong that you will say things that people will deem to be arrogant because people are not accustomed to that. Like if you were to stand up and say every God is a false God but Yahuwah, people are going to take that as pride. Because the first thing they're going to say is, how can you say something like that? And I'd be like, how can I say something like that? We all speak English. We all know how to put sentences together. That's how I said it. You know what I'm talking about? And I meant exactly what I said. Do you need me to say it again? What? Genesis 3:1. Hey, y'all better stop playing in my house. We talking to you?
You talking to you?
They ain't talking to me because I ain't been on the basketball court in 5 years or better. And they ain't planning on getting on one neither.
It's been about 4 years.
Who? Nah. My body, I can't even run no more. Nah, that's injured niggas.
You probably heard it, but stretching does something. I ain't count.
So right now I need to stretch to the chiropractor. What you said? See, now she ready to start. Stretching does her. See, I've been telling you he need to stretch.
That
He'll
part
never
of
do
my
no
family,
stretching.
not stretching, not doing a difference. So I can speak from facts.
I just making sure.
Callie got a herniated.
I didn't say anything negative against it. I said I just get in here, lift, and get out. I can't walk because I have a herniated disc.
I stretch like every day. I try to.
I just like a car, but I just get in there and go.
Get in there and go. I just got a herniated disc. That's all.
That's
Ridiculous, but I'm telling you,
last time I stretched and I ran track the first coach in 2000.
What'd you say?
That's going on 10 years.
It's normal if you perform athletic activities.
I'm like stretching.
Nigga, you just play basketball. Well, that nigga talking about he before that nigga been back lifting weights for 6 months. You keep doing deadlifting long enough and shoot. Nigga, you see why Ronnie Coleman around here looking like he look. Well, I've been deadlifting 12 years straight. It wasn't a stretch. It wouldn't matter if I stretched or not. These herniated discs was gonna happen. Yeah, but I know why my back went out. I know why my back went out.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, honestly though, the main injury that took my back out was me doing that pt4 back to back, and my central nervous system gave out. No, I stopped, but that threw my back out. That's what really messed it up. That's what started it. That was 5 years ago. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? The woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. But see right there, he stole the words of Yahuwah. That's what he stole. When you pay attention to what he actually took, he just took the words of Yahuwah and used them for his own aim. That's what he steals more than anything. Hey, man, get over there with that. What I said, boy. Get your behind over there like I told you. Hold on one second. That's your problem, Joe. You think you can do what you want to do. There's a verse that's in my head. I'm trying to remember where it's at. There it is. Jeremiah 23. That's what I wanted. 23 and 27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that have a dream, let him tell a dream. He that have my word, let him speak my word faithfully. For what is the chaff to the wheat, saith Yahuwah? Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahuwah? And like a hammer that break the rock in pieces, therefore, behold, I am against the prophet, saith Yahuwah, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. And that's what you've seen Satan do. Steal this man's words. And then try to say, Yahuwah have said, Yahuwah have said. That's what he steals. That's what he takes. So that's how you sit back and you get down and you end up sunk in the mire or sunk in the clay. See, now we're about to touch the actual fall of Jerusalem. This is Jeremiah 39. Actually, I didn't want to stop on this one here because that's what got Adam in the grave. That's what got Jeremiah in the mire. That's what got Mashiach in the mire, because they tried to steal his words, because they tried to take his words and pervert them. You recall how they tried to take the Lord's words and pervert them to be able to have some reason to accuse him. See, let's take a look at that in Matthew 26, if you would. Matthew 26 and 57. Hey, keep on, boy. You're going to get out. Hey, Malik and Mordecai. Let somebody say something else to you. Ain't nobody playing with you. This ain't playtime. Little Muffin, what you over there doing? Matthew chapter 26, verse 57. And they that laid held on Yahusha led away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off into the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council saw false witness against Yahusha to put him to death, but found none. Yea, many false witnesses came, found they none, and the last came 2 false witnesses. And they said, this said, I am able to destroy the temple of Elohim and build it in 3 days. You see how they tried to steal his words? Everyone from his neighbor to cause somebody to believe a lie. That's what he was saying the prophets were doing in Jeremiah 23. That's what Satan did. Steal Yahuwah's words to try to cause them to believe a lie. You won't surely die. But he stole the man's words. You got to remember, what did Satan do in the beginning? He just spit the words of Elohim back verbatim. And then tried to get you to understand what you were told differently than what was actually intended. See, that's what you think the beast's going to do. What does it tell you the beast's going to have understanding in? Dark sentences. So he gonna be stealing the word of Yahuwah to cause you to believe something different. See, I mentioned that, and that's not to say that the brother who Saran mentioned is stealing word, but he thinking it's Satan. So when you think something Satan and it's really not Satan, and then Satan mimicking Elohim, and then he pulling these stunts, you're gonna go for it. Because what you actually should be attributing to Yahuwah, you're going to attribute to the devil. And what you should be attributing to the devil, you're going to attribute it to Yahuwah, and you're going to get God. Yeah, but see, that's a little different, because that's somebody coming out saying it's more than one gender. Females are not the only ones who can have kids. You know what I'm saying? Trannies can too. See, now you bugging. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be with a man. You know, you tripping. Because that's what they at in life. But what I'm talking about is not having proper understanding. So you looking at Isaiah 14, or you looking at Ezekiel 28, and you taking something of Yahuwah and you ascribing it to Satan. So when Satan comes over and something that you're supposed to attribute to Satan, you may attribute it to Yahuwah because you have an improper understanding. And because you have an improper understanding, the beast will be able to deceive you. Because when he begins to mirror the word, you're not going to know the difference. And when you don't know the difference, you get deceived. Jeremiah 39. And again, really the main point is going back to something that I just been referencing the last couple of weeks. You have to seek to understand Yahuwah because you desire to know him. When you desire to know him, can't nobody deceive you about him. But when you don't know him, you're going to get deceived. Jeremiah 39, verse 1. In the 9th year of Zechariah, Malach of Yehuda, the 10th month came Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against him, and they besieged it. So let's look at that. Jerusalem being besieged. I don't even think we have finished Ezekiel chapter 4 and 5. We might have to go back around that corner. You know what? Just get out. Just go on and get out. Ain't nobody talking to you.
Put your feet down. Put your feet down.
Sit up straight. I don't care. He shouldn't have had it told you but one time. If it bothers your feet, you can get out. Then get out. No, don't run in here. Hey, come back here. Why you running in here? What you running in here for? Now you ought to get popped for running in here. Then get up there and sit down and be quiet. You better find you somebody to play with. It could be the case. You know what I'm saying? Man, all you got to do, send it. If he don't understand, send him to me. I'll break it down for him. I'll break it down for him. Them joints might be dirty, though. You might have to check it. She been out there spray painting and whatnot. She did. Jeremiah 39 and 1. Let's look at this Ezekiel 5 real quick. Because I don't think I finished Ezekiel chapter 5. I'll figure it out in a second. Ezekiel 5 and 1. Now, of course, remember, right? Understand the difference. We're looking at two different things, or really three different things, four different things, now I think on it. by looking at Ezekiel 5 and Jeremiah 39. And those things will be this here. Number one, the first time Jerusalem got surrounded. The second time Jerusalem got surrounded. Mashiach being surrounded and besieged. Do you know what I'm talking about? All of that in the midst of looking at both of these. Ezekiel 5 and 1. Oh, they go to doggone freaky people again. And freaky people be on everybody, John, boy. You look at some comments, you see some John say dot tech. Yeah, they trying to get you on some smart tech, all right. Straight up. Oh no, it'd be bots, it'd be porn bots. I mean, they do the same thing with niggas who be trying to buy shoes. That junk be bots. Yeah, they all over YouTube. It's a comment on it right now. Yeah, I would hope not. That junk mess your phone up. No, because I think that's the only thing it can be.
I see it.
Yeah, them be porn. That's porn bots. Yeah, them be porn bots. Don't even be real people. The same way that people be getting all them friend requests from them porno sites. That them people be everywhere, man. Woo! He said he fighting the power, man. Ezekiel 5 and 1. And you, son of man, take you a sharp knife, take you a barber's razor, cause it to pass upon your head and upon your beard. Then take you the balances, the weigh and divide. You shall burn with fire a third part in the midst of the city. When the days of the siege are fulfilled, you shall take a third part, smite about it with a knife. A third part. Hey, children, you too loud. Too loud. And you shall also take a third part with a knife, and a third part you shall scatter in the wind, and I will draw out a sword after them. You shall also take thereof a few in number, and bind them in your skirts. Then take of them again and cast them into the midst of the fire, and burn them in the fire. Thereof shall a fire come forth unto all the house of Yasharal. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, this is Jerusalem. I have set in the midst of the nations and countries around about her. And she have changed my judgments into wickedness more than the nations, and my statutes more than the countries that are round about her, for they refuse my judgments and my statutes, and they have not walked in them. Now, I almost forgot to mention that part, and that was in Job, because you see Job, you see Satan. What was he coming to do? Steal, kill, destroy. That's the only thing that he had power to do over Job. When you look at Mashiach, they tried to steal his position, they tried to destroy his name, and of course they killed him. But see, I'm mentioning this here is why did Mashiach have to go through all this? Because he said, you took that man's judgments and you did worse than the people around you. So that wasn't Satan. That was you. You know, black people love to play a victim, right? They like to tell you how much you've been oppressed and all that other type of stuff. But what is that getting you? That's not getting you anything. Now, let me put it to you this way. Are you being oppressed? Yes. Are you being terrorized? Yes. Are you being terrorized at the level that you think you're being terrorized? No. Because it ain't like it's a posse full of white folks riding around killing niggas. Because at the end of the day, as much as you get upset about white folks killing you, you like to promote and push of the killing of your own selves and lift up men who describe it in great fashion and talk about how great they are and say that their life is a goal. That is hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit back and promote things that lead to the destruction of your community and then complain about the state of your community and point that at the finger of another person. Can't do it. Not as a man and be taken seriously by other men. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And that's one of the reasons, like, dudes be like, black women don't respect black men. That's part of the reason why. They just don't understand. That's part of the reason why. And some of them do understand it, and they tell you this. Why am I going to respect you and you cry about Mr. Charlie all day? Women respect power. So that's it, and that has always been the case. That's never going to change. I recognize that at an early age. Women respect power and dominant men. That's why dudes be like, why they like the bad boys? It's not necessarily because they bad. They sense them to have a perception of power and dominance. Women like that. They don't want to breed with a weak man. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a desire to do that. And we're not just talking about being strong physically. You have to have some type of mental, Shalom, Brother Craig. You got to have some type of mental and dominance. That's why I told y'all the other day, we were talking about it when Jason Black mentioned that, which is accurate. You have to have competence. If you are incompetent, a woman is not going to respect you at all, and you shouldn't expect her to. We're the only group of men that think that you should be submitted to, and you are showing yourself to be incompetent. That don't even make any sense. You have no skills to show to secure any type of success, and you expect submission. That's sucker stuff. Would you want your daughter to be with an incompetent man and submit to him? I think not. But you got a whole big bunch of grown, rusty niggas on the internet crying all day, talking about what a woman won't do for him. And he said that junk last night, and I'd agree with him. That nigga said, you know what? Gangsters ought to be with gangsters, and I agree. If you an old gangster hood chick, that's what you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to get with no regular dude working on 9 to 5. Y'all ain't got nothing in common. Get you a gangster nigga. Nerds should be with nerds. You know what I'm saying? Have some happy medium and meet together. It's better that way. You know what the problem is? The nerd trying to get with the high status person and wondering why there's conflict. We were talking about that. That's what MTR problem is. He like anime, but you want the bad hoe, the Instagram hoe. Get your hoe that like anime, nigga. She might be a 6, but she like anime. Yeah, that's what the book tell you. You know what I'm saying? You're godly, man. Hey, you a regular, everyday working woman? Don't try to get no baller nigga. Don't try to get no multi-millionaire entrepreneur. That's probably not going to work for you. Y'all ain't got nothing on the same. Y'all ain't got nothing in common. You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen a chick, dudes be trying to, you a regular old square nigga, you trying to get with a gangster chick, and you wonder why this junk, she frustrating the daylights out of you. Y'all ain't got nothing. She don't like you, nigga. And that's why the book tell you what, if you a believer, get you what? That's what you better get. Because it's going to be incompatible. It's going to be incongruent. You're going to have a lot of frustration. Look at what he told you, he tells you to do, right? Y'all understand what the fire is, right? What the wind is and the sword is. Y'all understand what those things mean? You look like you don't understand. Michael, you don't understand? Oh, you were just going to say that? I was just going to say that. I didn't understand what I just read. What I just read. That man say take a third, take you a barber's razor. That man say go on here, take you a sharp knife and pass it upon your head and your beard. And that man say take a third of it and throw it in the fire. Take a third of it, toss it in the wind. Take a third of it, toss it to the sword. He gonna tell you. Don't worry about it. He gonna tell you. He gonna tell you. It's gonna get a little ugly for you. It's gonna be a little disturbing. Verse 7. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, because you multiply more than the nations that are around about you, and have not walked in my statutes, neither have you kept my judgments, neither have you done according to the judgments of the nations, and have done according to the judgments of the nations round about you. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, even I am against you. I will execute judgments in the midst of you in the sight of the nations. I will do in you that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all your abominations. Therefore, the father shall eat the sons in the midst of you. The sons shall eat their fathers. I will execute judgments in you, and the whole remnant of you will I scatter into all the winds. Wherefore, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, surely because you defiled my sanctuary with all your detestable things, and with all your abominations, therefore will I also diminish. Neither shall my eyes spare, neither will I have any pity. A third part of you shall die with the pestilence and with famine. They shall be consumed in the midst of you, and a third part shall fall by the sword round about you, and I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. Thus shall my anger be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them, and I will be comforted. And they shall know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it in my zeal, when I have accomplished my fury in them. Moreover, I will make you a waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about you, in the sight of all that pass by. So shall it be a reproach, a taunt, and an instruction, and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about you, when I shall execute judgments in you in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase famine upon you, and I will break your staff of bread. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts. They shall bereave you. Pestilence and blood shall pass through you, and I will bring the sword upon you. I, Yahuwah, have spoken it. What this is referring to is what's mentioned in Luke, which we read last week, and that was Jerusalem's destruction the second time. Notice what he told you. Not only said he gonna bring a sword and kill you in there, he gonna kick you out of his land and then chase you with the sword again. So when somebody say Jesus was asleep during slavery, I say, nah, he was good in a way, because he was the one chasing us with that sword with furious rebukes and wrath. Because he was angry. Because you took his word and you made it worse than the people who were around you. Do you understand how bad that is? Michael, you're going to have to get him. She can't move swiftly. No, that nigga carrying a whole human being in there. His head probably bigger than his. You got to think about that, right? Now, we're mentioning something, right? Because he said with Zechariah, the king, they besieged Jerusalem. Y'all know what besiege means, right? Y'all know what besiege means? Y'all know what it means? Well, I'll give you the Hebrew word for it. Sword. No, it means to confine, to cramp, to show hostility, to treat as a foe, or to be an adversary. Yeah. When you talking about somebody besieged the city, you know that's pretty much they running it over. Yeah, they didn't take it over. Run it over. Come over here to Matthew 26. High stakes. They say it's high stakes. Don't be late. That's what they say. Matthew 26 and 45. Matthew 26 and 45. Then come he to the disciples and said unto him, sleep on now, take your rest. Well, take rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hand of sinners. Rise, let us be going up. Behold, he is at hand that do betray me. While he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came with a great multitude, with swords and staves, from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave him a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, hail, master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, friend, wherefore are you come? And they came and laid holds on Yahushua and took him. Now, of course, you know another one, he's saying, are you coming out against me as a thief with swords and staves? This also references Job 19. If you're not familiar with Job 19, let's take a look at it. Why y'all over there talking? Come on over here so I can slap you in your mouth. Since you got so much to talk about, let me give you something to talk about. Job 19 and 10. You can make it 9. See, another one just came with a Greek name, Bartek. They be subscribing to people channels and all. I think we buy 500 show, and then we can go live off the phone. Because you can't go live no more unless you got 1,000. They say they won't let niggas like you get on there and say anything. What you laughing for? Is something funny? Somebody said something humorous? You've been amused? You've been tickled? This is a jovial matter? Job 19 and 9. You can make it 8. He that fenced up my way that I cannot pass, He that set darkness in my path. We're going to see that as it relates to Zechariah in a moment. Zechariah is the last king to sit upon the throne of Yasharal. Y'all do know this, right? And when I say sit on the throne, meaning he's the last man to physically sit on the throne of David. No one has sat on the throne of David. What? Yes, Zedekiah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought you said something.
Zedekiah is the last man to sit upon the throne of David. He hath stripped me of my esteem. He hath taken the crown from my head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. And my hope hath he removed like a tree. He hath also kindled his wrath against me, and counted me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together, and they raise up their way against me, and they encamp my tabernacle around about my tabernacle. You're looking at a camp, it's probably a different word, but you got the same thing, you're being besieged. Jerusalem is being besieged or surrounded on every side. That's what Yahushua told you in Luke 21. That's why I say you got multiple things. You also see the same thing with the Lord, because he's Jerusalem, the teaching or city of peace, and he was besieged and surrounded on every side. The next part we'll just read because we're about to deal with that in a moment. He hath put my brethren far from me. My acquaintances are truly estranged from me. My kinfolk have failed. My familiar friends have forgotten me. And they that dwell in my house and my maids count me as a stranger. I'm an alien in their sight. Now they don't know him. That's what Job said. Now you don't know me. Let's come back to Jeremiah 39. We in verse 2. Hey, come all the way around. All the way. 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 That's where you eat at. You don't eat around the corner. You don't eat on the edge. You eat right there. Do y'all understand? Thank you. 39 and 2, Jeremiah. And in the 11th month of the year, Zechariah, in the 4th month, the 9th of the month, the city was broken up. And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, even Nergal-Shazzar, Samgar-Nebo, Sarachim, Rabsaris, Nergal-Shazzar, Rabmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. Now, I just want to share with you the names of some of these men. Some of you remember their gods. You can see that the name of one of their gods was in this man's name. Now, when you deal with Nergal-Shazzar, his name means Prince of Fire. So you could take that and do with it what you will. As far as thinking upon it. Now you got Samgar-Nebo, which is the sword of Nebo. Do y'all remember who Nebo is, Kalisha? Who is Nebo? Don't cheese. Who's Nebo? Hey, ain't nobody talking to you. Hey, sit up properly and speak when spoken to. You don't know who Nebo is? You got a problem? You ain't thinking spits, huh? Hey, somebody get that. You finna knock that thing over. Michael, who is Nebo? Oh, you don't know either. Oh, we did went over it before. You were present. You say you've been here 2 years. Now look at you. Exposed. Yeah, don't say that we did it. Just say you didn't remember it. Now you're trying to steal my word. That's what you did. You know who Nebo is? This is highly unfortunate. What about you, Lee? Who is Nebo? No. It has I already know. We already had this conversation. That is accurate. I would hope so. Nebo is a Babylonian deity. Come take a look at it. Isaiah 46 and 1. Yeah, we talk about Nebo when we talk about all the false gods in this book. You might be. There's number 32. Isaiah 46 and 1. Baal bowed down and Nebo stooped, and their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle, and your carriages were heavy loading, and they are a burden to the weary. They stoop, they bow down together, and they cannot deliver the burden. They themselves are gone into captivity. Shalom, man. And you know that going into captivity, that's in the book of Jeremiah 51 or 52. When they talk about 50 or 51, when he talking about he going to take all the idols of Babylon and put them into captivity. Because you know what captivity means in Hebrew by definition, correct? Oh, so you don't know, Michael? What? Oh, so you ain't swift on your toes. No. What does Hebrew mean? And what does captivity mean in Hebrew? Oh, I done said it 1,000 times. Tom Deidre, since she was so confident in the first one, give me this one then. No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. I just want everybody to know that my wife is a cologne thief. I want to share that with everyone. She's a cologne thief.
You got it in your possession. Ain't nobody.
Okay, so you're a cologne pilferer.
They can, but that'd be terrible.
Oh yeah, and Sean is correct that Nebo is the Egyptian equivalent of Thoth. Thoth is an Egyptian god, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, Thoth is Thor's daddy. Odin is an Egyptian god. They don't have anything that's of their own. So once you start taking their mythology, you thought Thor and Odin were original concepts.
No, I knew it. No, I didn't know Thor was Egyptian.
Every god that you've ever seen from any culture come from Egypt or the original Babylon. Not the Babylon of Nebuchadnezzar, but Babylon of Sumer or the Phoenicians. That's where all the gods come from. I mean, what I'm saying is that white people have no culture. So the things that they uphold as being Greek, Nordic, or Roman mythology is really Egyptian mythology. And they've just taken the Egyptian deities and given them different names and altered the stories a tad. Now, there's some few original stories like Narcissus. You know what I'm saying? But Zeus is Osiris. You know what I'm saying? Odin is basically doggone Nebo. Well, Thor is Nebo. You know what I'm talking about? It's all the same crap, and they just recycle it. That's all they do. They just recycle it. Y'all still ain't found me what captivity mean in Hebrew? It means to be exiled. So that means that all the gods of Babylon will be exiled or removed. So, what's the next one? Because it's another dude named in here who named me Nebo. I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's not even nowadays that they were Marvel characters. Is that all the cartoon characters were always based off Egyptian or Roman deities to begin with? Yeah, it's all the same thing. And we'll just put on there Just the God. That's why I say if it ain't Egypt, it's the original Babylon, Sumer, and the Phoenicians. It's all they gods. You know what I'm saying? Same stories. That's all it is. You're not dealing with these people didn't come up with something new. These people been worshiping the same God since the flood. Post and pre. Mainly post. Verse 4. It came to pass when Zechariah, the Malach of Yehuda, saw them, all the men of war, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by way of the king's garden, by the gate betwixt the two walls, and he went out the way of the plain. Now, this is the difference of what you see in Mashiach do and what Zechariah did. Because you should remember, we read it. What did Yahuwah tell Zechariah not to do? I mean, you might have to go back a chapter or two.
He told him not to buck that captivity.
He told him not to buck. He said if he didn't buck, he'd bless him. Ain't that what he told him? And what you see Zechariah doing? Buck. Now, this is the reverse of what happened with Mashiach. Because remember, we did read last night, he asked for the cup to pass, but he said, let your will be done. Because when the people came, guess what his apostles did? They fled. But he didn't flee. Let's take a look and see if they hit. I'm in Mark right now because that's where I opened up to. Let me say sure if Mark got what we need. Matter of fact, go to Matthew. 26 is fine for the moment. 26. I know, matter of fact, we just read that last night, so that ain't what I want. I'm trying to remember. It's definitely one of them where it stayed with them boys hit it on it. Yeah, that was. I was right the first time. 26, Matthew chapter 26. Pick it up at verse 55. Muffin man, come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Cut all that junk out. Get all that. You still want a hat, boy? Huh? You can't get one acting like that. You gonna keep acting like that? You ain't getting no hat. You still want a hat? Then you gonna have to behave, aren't you? You gonna be around here pouting? Huh? No, 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 no. You want to go back where your mama at? Because you want some of that salad, don't you? Then why you just didn't say that? All you had to do was say, Mom, I'd like some of your salad, please. Then it'd be her choice to share it. Going back where you came from. Matthew 26 and 55. In the same hour. Matter of fact, make it 51, man, all the way through. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahushua unto him, put up again your sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Think you that I cannot pray to my Abba, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of Malachim? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be? In the same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes, are you come out against a thief with swords and staves? For to take me, I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. And what you call that junk you use to break a chain? Ain't that junk escaping my brain. I know what it is. Yeah, the dog. Yeah, that's what it was. It was. I couldn't think of it. Now, when we took that fence off, that junk had a chain that was attached to it, and we need a bolt cutter to break it so we could take the last piece of it and take it away. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, too, boy. I got a house to show you, man. My man's need the roof pressure water. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Saran. That's what it was. In the same hour, he said, swords and staves, I sat daily with you teaching in the temple. You laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples did what? Forsook him and fled. Now you see the difference? When the men of war came out, Zechariah and all his people hid it. In the reverse, when the men of war came out on Mashiach, he stayed, his disciples fled. See, that goes back to that Job 19 we were looking at. Now, there's a reason, because we talked about that last night. Well, we're going to look at it now. They had to flee. Because you're going to see in the Jeremiah what would have happened to them if they didn't flee. Because you see the reverse. The king fled and everybody fled with it. You know what I'm talking about? The disciples fled, but the king stayed. Come on back to Jeremiah 39. We're in verse 5. Listen what it says, right? And the Chaldeans' army pursued after them, overtook Zechariah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Riblah in the land of Hamah, where he gave judgment upon him. What does that sound like to you? They took Mashiach before who to give judgment on him? Pilate. You can see that in John chapter 18, 19, if you would. Then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zechariah, and that's why the disciples had to hit it. Because if they don't hit it, guess what's going to happen to them? They're going to get killed. And if you don't remember, Zechariah is Yahuwah is righteous. And we should be able to see that because his name leads with Zadok. And also, and he say before his eyes, also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Yehuda. So this is what you see, like, well, they had to hit it. They didn't hit it, they were going to be killed because the book going to be fulfilled. If they would have stayed there with Mashiach, they'd have been crucified with him. Moreover, he put out Zechariah's eyes and bound him with chains to carry him to Babylon. What does that sound like to you, Kalisha? They put out his eyes and bound him with chains and led him to confusion. Because that's what Babylon means, a little confusion. You look a little confused. You tired. You ain't did nothing. Give me two things you did. You did what? So you went outside and smoked Newports. That would have sounded like you said. If you don't know the answer, just say so. Shoot. Say it again for what? You been smoking marijuana? Y'all niggas too young for this. Ain't nobody talking to you. Who can tell me what this verse means? Verse 7. Jeremiah 39 and 7. Lil Muffin, what you got going on? You can't sit still? You said you need to be fed. Who did it? Hey, boy, don't run in here, boy. They're mentioning Samson with his eyes getting put out, and that's a given. But that is not what we're angling for. We need to catch big fish. When they put them blindfold, but see, notice right this here. When did they put the chains on him, though? I need you to give me chronological order. Because in here it says that Zechariah was made blind, and then they bound him and led him away. I need to know chronologically, did that happen to Mashiach in the same fashion? Yes or no? Yes or no, Muffin? You say yes? What are you basing that off of? Huh? Oh, memory. Yes.
Then they chain up first.
No. They blindfolded him first. They blindfolded and they slapped the taste out of his mouth. Oh, now you good, Brother Randall, because you tying in that Samson got laid blind because Samson was taken away and then made blind. But he was still taken away and bound and made blind nonetheless. Matter of fact, let me put it this way. Samson was taken to captivity, broke free from captivity, was deceived, made blind, and then they bound him and they used him for sport. But no, Samson and Zechariah's story are the same because they bear witness. That's just Samson is the second witness to Zechariah. Well, really, Samson is the first witness. Zechariah is the second witness to the witness of the Lord. What was I at? All right, back to Jeremiah 39. I didn't want to make sure y'all catch it now. Listen what it said, right? And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire and break down the walls of Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan. Let's look at Nebuzaradan. And his name means Nebo has given seed. And he is the general of the army that captured Jerusalem. Now, I want to see how y'all can pick that up. Now, how you going to pick that up and explain that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If listen right, this is the captain of the guard that carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, and those that fell away that fell to him, and the rest of the people that remained. And Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left the poor of the people which had nothing in the land of Yehudah, and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. But now, Nebuzaradan's name means Nebo has given me seed. How are we going to rationalize this? It's 11 of y'all on here. Tell me how you going to rationalize this matter. Hey, y'all up there playing in that chair? That's not a two-person chair. One of you going to have to get up. Y'all don't have an idea how you're going to be able to rationalize this matter? How are we going to rationalize this matter? Anybody want to take a shot at it? I didn't realize what that nigga said again.
I said, would that be like the serpent getting his seed?
You said the serpent with his seed? Well, let's look at Nebo getting a seed, if you would. I forgot to look up what Nebo's name means. Because I definitely don't forgot. Nebo means prophet.
Okay, yep.
You saying Judas is Satan's seed that took them to the Messiah to carry him away? Now, Nebo means prophet. So what you got, but so you got to sit back and look at the prophet's seed. Let's take a look at Daniel 11. Little Muffin, don't you start in here, Little Muffin. Don't you start in here, Little Muffin. Don't you start. Yeah, but those his though. But that's his though. He don't have to give you none and he don't want to. You can't take his food, Little Muffin. And she going off on him too, like, well, you need to come up off that. But that's his though. I understand, but that's his food. No muffin. Daniel 11:36. And the king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god. He shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the Elohim of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god. He shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate he shall honor the Elohim of forces, Elohim whom his fathers knew not, shall he honor with gold, silver, with precious stones, and pleasant things. Now, we done had this conversation before. Did Esau know who Yahuwah was? How would we be able to prove that Esau knew who Yahuwah was? His father was Isaac, but can you really go in here and say Esau knew who Yahuwah was? Would you be able to take them to a point and show them that he knows who Yahuwah is?
He said, like, he knew not to marry them Canaanite women, but he did it anyway.
But Isaac told him not to do that. Yes, you raised your hand. Now that would be accurate. As for, and when we talk about knowing Yahuwah, not just knowing his ways, but that he knew who the God of his fathers is. Because regardless of how many brews want to look at it, Esau's fathers are still Isaac and Abraham. You understand? His fathers is Isaac and Abraham. That man is of the line of Shem. So he knew who Yahuwah was. He just chose not to serve Yahuwah. And of course, if you recall from Ezekiel 35, he is going to speak blasphemies. And he said, I have heard them. That would have said that Edom would do. Now, we talking about this here because somebody's going to magnify themselves. Now, this is understanding. You knowing Esau wants what Jacob had. And he's going to get a short time period to do it. When we come to Revelation 12, you're going to see what you're going to see. And what you're going to see, a man exalting himself in Jerusalem, trying to cause confusion there. Let's go take a look in Revelation chapter 11. Little Muffin, come here. Come here, Little Muffin. Come here. Go back over there with that. Go over there with your mama. Go over there with Big Muffin. No, you tell me no Now, see, that means you old enough to start getting popped now. Cause now you know now you done showed you know what you're doing. See, that's what it is. You don't pop them until they show open defiance. That's when they can get a little pop. I mean, I ain't seen never did it in my side. I raised it if she did it just now. I definitely would bet this wouldn't be the first occasion. I told you, especially little girl, they good in rebellion. Look you dead in your face and be like, I ain't doing that, nigga. Revelation 11:1. That's why I like this here. Who? If I had a choice, boy and a girl, I'd never pick a girl. Absolutely not. Cause I know I'm gonna put her out. Cause she gonna buck. You know what I'm talking about? First quarter. Little boy gonna buck till he realize, oh, this ain't gonna work. Little girl just come out there now and then. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it's always better to be like, hey, especially if you was in the world, I would much rather hear that my son's a man whore than to hear my daughter's a whore. Well, my son a punk, I failed him on multiple levels, so I'm gonna just go ahead and kill himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, straight him down. If I came home and my son talking about he puffing Peters, hey, I done failed you, son. Go and get my 4-4 out the back. I'm gonna go ahead to the upper room because clearly I don't need to be here no more. I have failed. Because that mean he good. That mean he grown. You grown laying on your stomach, boy? Mm-mm. I don't know what I did, but I ain't doing enough. I ain't doing enough. I look your mom in the face and say, baby, I'm sorry. I got to go. Because it'd be easier to kill him, but it ain't his fault. It's my fault. This nigga old Buster Punk soft nigga. That's my fault. Right, talking about he loved men. Daddy, this who I am. Mm-mm. Get out of here. What question is that, Sean? I can't. Yeah, I can deal with it because a little girl could just be a whore just out of straight rebellion. You know what I'm saying? You ain't letting me go outside with my friends. I'm gonna get back at you by riding the carousel. You know what I'm saying? Little girl do crazy junk like that. How you hurt me? You know what I'm talking about? You're not hurting me doing that. You're hurting yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm gonna look at you. Now you're stupid. Your miles high, your radiator blown, and I can't say you off the line. Yeah, you ain't hurt me, baby. You hurt yourself. Revelation 11:1. And there was given unto him a reed like unto a rod, and the Malachim stood and said, Rise, measure the temple of Elohim and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles in the Kadash city, shall they tread underfoot 42 months. You know, it tells you that in Daniel 11 also, that he would enter into the esteemed city and things of that sort. Come on back over here to Jeremiah. I am not in Jeremiah 39 this time. Now, the reason how we taking this in, and I see what you're talking about, not Revelation 12, not pertaining to the son that Nebo has given the seed. But remember that the beast is the son of Satan. Not the son of Satan like they show you in the movies, somebody going to have sex with Satan, but he's born of the spirit of the adversary, or born of the word of the adversary.
Revelation says he's seen smoking, the smoke coming out the
bottom of the pit?
Yeah.
You referring to what?
The beast. He's born with the spirit of Satan.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say he's born with it. I'm saying that he's born of Satan. Because nobody in here is born with the Ruach Elohim. That's something you acquire. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, it says Satan entered into Judas. He wasn't in Judas the whole time. And that's a conversation I've had with some young women over the course of years. Nobody is born with the Ruach HaKodesh. You have the breath of life in you, but you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh. That's something that you acquire. People aren't born of Satan. You don't acquire, you weren't born with Satan's spirit. That's something you acquire. You acquire that by entering into covenant with him, and that would be acquired when you receive the mark of his name in your hand or in your forehead. Now, of course, the beast himself, he's already acquired that because he's already entered into covenant with Satan by rejecting covenant with Yahuwah. And that's how he would be the seed of Nebo, or the seed of the prophet, because regardless if you want to believe it or not, Satan fancies himself as some type of prophet. He has to fancy himself as some type of prophet because your God is a prophet. You already know that because he's called an apostle and a prophet and a shepherd. That boy dirty with it, ain't it? That nigga evil. Evil Knievel. That's what they call him. 13. Jeremiah 39 and 13. I think I skipped some. No, I'm in 11. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, Take him, look well to him, do him no harm, do unto him even as he shall say unto you. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent Nebo-Shaban, Rabsaris, Nergal-Shazar, Rabmag, and all the king of Babylon's princes. And even they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the prison and committed him unto Gedaliah, the son of Achim, the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home. So he dwelt among the people. Gedaliah is about to come up and be relevant in the next chapter. I skipped the dog. Now, Gedalia means Yahuwah is great. Joe, you want to get out my house, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. I'm not playing. Yes, you do. You do. Don't worry. I'm finna accommodate you shortly. I am about to accommodate you shortly. Jeremiah 39:15. Now the word of Yahuwah came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Go speak unto Ebed-Melech, the Ethiopian, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil and not for good, and they shall be in that day before you. I will deliver you in that day, saith Yahuwah. You shall not be given into the hand of the men whom you are afraid. For I will surely deliver you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but your life shall be for a prey unto you, because you put your trust in me. Y'all know what it is to be a prey, right? You know what that word means, to be a prey? Salat or shalal, that's to be a prey, a plunder, a spoil, a booty. Come over here to Isaiah 59. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 58. No, it's 59. Isaiah 59 and 10. Isaiah 59 and 10. Notice that he said you'll be a prey because you trust in Yahuwah. You will be preyed upon, you will be spoiled, and you will become spoiled to anyone who does not trust in Yahuwah. Do you think if Jeremiah didn't trust in Yahuwah that he would have been locked up in a prison? See, Paul, since I'm talking about that, Revelation chapter 2, if you would, before we get to Isaiah 59. You can pick it up in Revelation 2 and 7. Revelation 2 and 7. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the houses. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim. And unto the Malachim of the house of Smyrna write, These things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know your works, tribulation, and poverty. You are rich. And the blasphemy of them which say they are Yahudim and are not, but are of the house of the adversary. Fear none of those things which you shall suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. That's what you see with Jeremiah. He was cast into prison that he may be tried, and Yahuwah rewarded him for his faithfulness. And you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach saith unto the houses. He that overcome shall not be hurt of the second death. You sit back and look, was not Jeremiah cast into prison and he was tried? And he was rewarded. Because not only did he not get killed, he didn't go into Babylon either. Back to Isaiah 59. But we can say that Yahushua was a prey. We talked about it already because they spoiled him for all his garments. They spoiled him for his position because that's what they wanted. Isaiah 59 and 10. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at the noonday at night. We are in desolate places as dead men. We roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, and there is none. For salvation, but it is far from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before you. Our sins testify against us. Our transgressions are with us. As for our iniquities, we know them. Mordecai, you better cut it out, boy, because I see you. Oh, that's Joe. Joe. No, he just sitting there kicking at something. I thought he was kicking somebody, but he just kicking his feet because he's agitated. He got to sit over there. and transgressing and lying against Yahuwah and departing from our Elohim, speaking oppression, revolt, and conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backwards, justice stand afar off, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth fail, he that depart from evil, making himself a prey. And Yahuwah saw it, and it displeased him that it was no judgment. Nobody stood up in the gap and say, hey, y'all shouldn't do this man like that. But see, we talking about more so of what happened with Mashiach. And not even just referencing Barabbas. Because he made himself a spoil, or to be spoiled, or to be plundered. And nobody stood up and said this should not be done. Pilate don't count. Nobody stood up and said this shouldn't be done. They were complicit. Jeremiah chapter 40. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah after Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had let him go from Ramah, when he had taken him being bound in chains among all that were carried away captive of Jerusalem and Yehuda, which were carried away captive into Babylon. The captain of the guard took Jeremiah and said unto him, Yahuwah your Elohim have pronounced this evil upon this place. Now Yahuwah have brought it and done according as he have said, because you have sinned against Yahuwah and have not obeyed his voice. Therefore this thing has come upon you. And now behold, I loose this day from the chains which were upon your hand. If it seem good unto you, dang, this nigga just put another one. Your dreams dot online. Wet dreams. And now behold, I loose this day from the chains which were upon your hand. If it seem good unto you to come with me to Babylon, come, and I will look well unto you. But if it seem ill unto you to come with me into Babylon, forbear. Behold, all the land is before you. Whether it seem good and convenient for you to go, go. Now look at what the answer. I want to just get convenient. When you got convenient, you got correct or right. You have your shar, that which is upright. Now sit there and think about this here, right? Come to Acts 2. See, little muffin? That's what you get. Now look at you. You done took a stumble. Little muffin, cut it out. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You over there pretending. Acts chapter 2, verse 21. Get your feet out that chair. And it's verse 22, actually. You men of Yasharal, hear these words. Yahushua Nazareth, a man approved of Elohim among you by miracles and wonders and signs which Elohim did by him in the midst of you, as you yourselves also know, him being delivered by determinate counsel and foreknowledge of Elohim, have you taken him by wicked hands, have crucified and slain. Whom Elohim raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holding of it. Hey, why you running in here, boy? Now, when you sit back and you see that, right? I will loose this day from the chains that were upon your hand. We already read that Mashiach got put in chains. And you're looking at him breaking the chains of death, because that's what you're seeing over here in Acts. He loosed the pains of death, or he loosed the chains of death. That also takes us back to the other person who we have been looking at, and that's Samson. Did not Samson break that flax cords? Now, this is the key thing, right? He can go back to confusion, or he can go back to Jerusalem. Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like Mashiach ascending into heaven. Because he could have stayed here with us. Because remember, he said, I go where you cannot go. Because nobody else of the captivity was able to go where he got that choice. Now ask yourself this question on a different matter. You are now been, matter of fact, let's come over here and look at it. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Oh, that page is not here. That's why I don't see it.
Okay.
No. I come to about 3 and 13. 2 Corinthians 3 and 13. Now that is Moses which put a veil over his face, that the sons of Yasharal could not steadfastly look to the end that which is abolished. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remain the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which is done away in Mashiach. Even until this day when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when they shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. Now the Lord is that Ruach, and where the Ruach of the Lord is, there is liberty. But we all with open face behold as the glass the esteem of the Lord, and are changed into the same image from esteem to esteem as by the Ruach of the Lord. Now, this is a key component of what we're coming over here to look at. You were under the chains, and it's another verse in there that I actually should have used, and it's in Ephesians, where you were under the elements of the world as the children of disobedience are as it is this day. Now you were in chains and in bondage to the world, to your flesh, and to your own desires, and he's loosed those chains from you, and now you have a choice. You can go to the city of peace, or you can remain in confusion. Which one seemed good to you? Because that's not what he just asked him, right? He just asked him, he said, man, you could come to Babylon with me, or you could go back to Jerusalem, and do which one seemed good to you. Now, it's a lot of people, when they started dealing with this word, they get faced with that very, very same question. Because remember, he said convenient. Convenient is Yeshua. Which one is upright to you? To go into confusion or to go into peace? Which one you going to choose? See, that goes back to the very thing that I began with at the beginning, which is accountability for the choices that you make, for the outcome that you desire. Because at the end of the day, Yahuwah freed him from them chains, and it was all because of the things that he had done previous to get put in them chains to dictate him getting the outcome that he desired. Because when he got to the point where he's being freed by his captive, or Mashiach being freed from death, now which choice are you going to make? Because he could stay on earth and be a benefit to no one. Or he could go back into heaven and sit at the right hand of Elohim and forever make intercession in the temple of Elohim on the behalf of all those that come to Elohim by him. You understand what's being conveyed? Hey, Muffin Man. Oh, you ain't getting no hat then. I'm getting no hat for you. You acting funny. Jeremiah 40 and 5. Now he was not yet gone back. Go back also to Gedaliah, the son of Haachim, the son of Shaphan, whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the cities of Yehudah, and dwell with him among the people, and go soever it seemed upright unto you to go. So the captain of the guard gave him victuals and a reward, and let him go. Now pause and think on that for a moment. Just so you know, Akam is a son of Shaphan. This is a brew. And it means my brother has risen. So Gedaliah is the son of my brother is risen. And again, Gedaliah is Yahuwah is great, and his father is my brother has risen. And he just told Jeremiah to go to who? Go to Gedaliah. And of course, Jeremiah is whom Yahuwah has appointed, has been instructed by Nebuchadnezzar to go to Gedaliah, the son of Achan, the son of Shaphan. And I think y'all should remember Shaphan. I think we talked about him before. Or Shaphan. And that it literally means a coney, a rock badger. Notice this here. This is the part I want you to look at. The captain of the guard gave him victuals and a reward. What are the victuals and reward? If you don't know what victuals is, that's meal, food, allowance, ration, or cob. It's time to whoop. It's time to whoop. Little JoJo. Ain't that right, JoJo? You gonna whoop little JoJo? Let's whoop little JoJo. Little JoJo! Yeah, that's what you want. Because you're stubborn, rebellious, stiff-necked, stout-hearted. Well, let's look at what these victuals would be. Let's go back to the book of Revelation, if you would. Oh, Vartek. Everybody like Vartek. There's a little verse at that I There we go. Revelation chapter 2. You can pick it up at verse 16. Repent, or else I will come unto you quickly and fight against them with the sword of my mouth. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the houses. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna. And I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that received it. So when we're looking at victuals, the reason why I said read that hidden manna is because we read this. Hey, shoot, that junk just started for the first time yesterday, man. Shoot, let them do what they do. If the channel was monetized, that junk could be different. Oh, those are bots, man. That junk ain't no big deal. They just bots. You gotta look at that junk and ignore it. They ain't bothering nobody. One thing about it, when you on a platform that's public like this here, people can dip in and out. Boy, it used to be people come on trolling. That's why some people, like a lot of people who see we can't, well, I think we can do it, but see, this channel's not monetized. So since the channel's not monetized, I don't think that you can like charge people for a membership. I don't know if y'all know that people do that on YouTube. Are you aware of that, Mike? Oh, you a member on somebody's channel? How you know then? You just know. How you figure that out? So then you just don't know. You.
I'm not a member on this channel, but I watch on YouTube. I know that certain, people have memberships.
Yeah, and then when you have a membership, they can cut their chat on to members only. You know what I'm saying? And only members can chat. You can cut it on whether it's channel is monetized or not to subscribers only. So then if a person is not a subscriber, they can't comment on the live chat. Or they'll let you filter that junk all the way out because niggas be trolling. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't cutting on no doggone subscribers only. I don't care what a nigga say on it. They say what they want. Guess what? They around here trying to get their bots on and get their pornos off, and they going to get some of this work with it. You could take that with your porno. For real. When you look at the victuals, what did we read last night in John chapter 6, right? He said his flesh was meat indeed, his blood was drink indeed. He gave him his flesh for him to send down. Now, when we look at reward here, it is mas'ah, mean, shan, olive, and tau. And that is a present, a gift, a contribution, an offering, a tribute. So now, what will we go to? He took captivity captive and he ascended on high and he received gifts from men, even the rebellious also. So what you see him giving is word and ruach to Jeremiah, because Jeremiah is whom Yahuwah has appointed, and we know that Yahushua is he whom Yahuwah has appointed. Let's return back to Jeremiah chapter 40. We're in verse 6. Then went Jeremiah unto Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, to Mitzvah, and dwelt with him among the people that were left in the land. Because remember, Gedaliah was set over to be the ruler of Jerusalem. Jeremiah went back to Jerusalem. And again, Gedaliah is a brute. That is not a Babylonian. That is not a Chaldean. That is a brute. Now, when all the captains of the forces which were in the fields, even they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon made Gedaliah the son of Acham governor in the land, and had committed unto him men, women, and children, and the poor of the land, of them that were not carried away captive to Babylon, then they came. Now we're about to get into something, because somebody about to get killed. Then they came to Gedaliah to Mitzvah, even Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, Johan, Jonathan the sons of Koreah, Sariah the son of Tanamut. That's what you get. That ain't nobody but the Lord. The sons of Ephi, the Nephathite, Jezaniah, the son of Makathite, they and their men. Now, this is not, of course, not the Ishmael that you know. And of course, you know this is God will hear. We got to see which Ishmael this is, how they describe him here. Now, this man is a son of a Hebrew. This man is also the person that you're going to see who is going to kill Gedaliah. Now, his father's name, who his father is, Nethaniah, which is given of Yahuwah. He is the son of Elshama, and he is of the house of David. So you can notice here, he is of the house of David. Matter of fact, let's back that up so you can get some more detailed information on that regard. 2 Kings chapter 25. Second Kings chapter 25. You can pick it up at 19 because they're going to go into more detail. Hey, somebody better get it. Got a runaway baby. Y'all just let the baby run away. They don't mess with you, Madeline. Second Kings chapter 25, verse 19. Now, again, this 2 Kings 25 is discussing the same topic. But of course, you know it's going to give you a little bit of different detail. Make sure it's something extra because they talking about look at verse 1, and I'll move my way around it because we might as well do all of it. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th of the month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came, he and all his hosts, against Jerusalem, pitched against it, and they built forts against it round about. The city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zechariah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, famine prevailed in the city. There was no bread for the people of the land, which aligns with what you've seen in Ezekiel. He did the same thing twice. You're going to die in here one way or another, but I'm going to get you up out of here. And the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled by the night by the way of the gate between two walls, which is by the king's garden. Now the Chaldees were against the city round about and went the way towards the plain. The army of the Chaldees pursued after the king, overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his armies were scattered from him. Again, they took Yahusha in the plain, and his armies were scattered from him. So they took the king, brought him the king of Babylon to Riblah. They gave judgment under there. They slew the sons of Zechariah before his eyes, put out the eyes of Zechariah, bound him with fetters of brass, carried him into Babylon. And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon under Jerusalem, he burnt the house of Yahuwah and the king's house and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every great man's house burnt he with fire. And the army of the Chaldeans that were with the captain of the guard break down the walls of Jerusalem round about. Now the rest of the people that were left in the city and the fugitives that fell away to the king of Babylon with the remnant of the multitude of Nebar-Zaradan, captain of the guard, carried away. The captain of the guard left the poor of the land to be vine dressers and husbandmen. So notice in another one it said they gave them a field, but they left them there so they could be able to produce something on their behalf. And those pillars of brass, this is the difference of the stuff that we didn't read in Jeremiah. And the pillars of brass that were in the house of Yahuwah, and the bases and the brazen sea that was in the house of Yahuwah, did the Chaldees break in pieces and carry brass of them to Babylon. And the pots and the shovels and the snuffers and the spoons and all the vessels of brass wherewith they ministered took they away. And the fire pans and the bowls and such things were of gold, silver, the captain of the guard took away. The two pillars of one of the sea and the bases which Solomon made for the house of Yahuwah, the brass of all these vessels was without weight. The height of one pillar was 18 cubits. The chapter upon it was brass. The height of the chapter 3 cubits, and the wreathen work, pomegranates upon the chapter round about. Of all the brass like unto these had the second pillar with wreathen work. And the captain of the guard took Zechariah the chief priest, Zephaniah the second priest, and the third keepers of the door. And out of the city he took an officer that was set over the men of war, 5 men of them that were in the king's presence, which were found in the city, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land, 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. And Nebar-Zaradan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon to Riblah. Notice he took everybody, the priests, the keepers. Y'all remember what the keepers of the door are, right? They guard and observe the door of the temple. They went too. Everybody went. Basically, if you didn't realize that, and especially referencing in the book of Daniel, all the great men of the house of Yasharal went into captivity. And that also show you have not Yahuwah chosen those who, the poor of this world, rich in faith, to be heirs of the kingdom. That's what you get alluded to with the poor getting left behind. Verse 21 is, and the king of Babylon smote them and slew them at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away out of their land. As for the people that remained in the land of Yehudah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left, even over them he made Gedaliah, the son of Acham, the son of Shaphan, ruler. And when all the captains of the armies, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, there came to Gedaliah Mitzvah, even Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, Yohanan, the son of Korah, Sariah, the son of Tanamuth, Nephathite, Yazaniah, the son of Maccathite, and they and their men. Gedaliah sware to them and to their men and said unto them, fear not to be the servants of the Chaldees. Dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you. But guess what? They didn't want to do that. Because is that not what he told? Jeremiah told them that in like the 29th chapter. See, I'm mentioning that because you know what the deal is? That's where our people at right now. If you was to say that you a coon, you this, that, there, and the third, and these niggas wonder why it ain't well with you. Why you think Peter told you to give honor to whom honor is due? Give honor to the king and live in peace. These people are not a threat to nobody who live righteously. But it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama of the seed royal, came and 10 men with him and smote Gedaliah that he died. And the Yahudim and the Chaldees that were with him were at Mitzvah. And you know what that's taking us back to? What I mentioned to you last night? Rebels. They heard exactly what they should have done by a man who Yahuwah moved to be put in that position, and they slew him so they could take it and override it because they thought what they had to do was better. Rebels. Gedaliah had just told the men what? Hey, man, dwell there, serve him, man, everything. I'm going to read it to you again. Gedaliah sware to them and their men and said unto them, fear not to be the servants of the Chaldees, dwell in their land, serve the king of Babylon, it shall be well with you. Because who said you were going into Babylon? Yahuwah. Who said you was going to serve the king of Babylon? Yahuwah. Who said it was going to be well with you while you were there? Yahuwah. He said, build you houses, plant you vineyards, give your sons into marriage and your daughters into marriage. Come over here to Jeremiah 29. Let's just see it for yourself. Get comfortable, because you're going to need a Snickers, because you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. $29 and Jeremiah 29 and shoot, make it one, man. Jeremiah 29. Why you walking all around here, little muffin? But what they doing though? They ain't doing nothing to you. Well, why they did it then? Lizzie did it. Boy, little muffin gonna tell them, oh, y'all. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent unto Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders, which were carried away captives, and to the priests and to the prophets, and to all the people who Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. After Jeconiah the king and the queen and the eunuchs and the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, the carpenters, the smiths, were departed from Jerusalem. You see, he got everybody. Now remember, this is a letter that Jeremiah, who's went back to Jerusalem, is writing back to these people to tell them what time it is. By the hand of Elshah, the son of Shaphan, Gamariah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zechariah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I've caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build you houses and dwell in them. Plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take you wives, beget sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons, give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that you may be increased there and not diminished. Seek the peace of the city, whereas I've caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto Yahuwah for it. For in shalom thereof shall you have shalom. This is you know that's in them back in them all going letters where he say pray for that type of stuff. That's why he's telling you that. See, what our biggest problem is, you focus on them people because you want to play the victim versus focusing on who caused you to have to deal with these people. For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Lasharal, let not your prophets or your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams which cause you to be dreamed, for they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith Yahuwah. For thus saith Yahuwah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you, and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahuwah, thoughts of shalom and not of evil, to give you an unexpected end. That then you shall call upon me, and you shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And you shall seek me and find, when you shall search for me with your whole heart, and I will be found of you, saith Yahuwah. And I will turn away your captivity and gather you from all the nations, from all the places whither I've driven you, saith Yahuwah. And I will bring you again into the place where I've caused you to be carried away captive. Because you have said, Yahuwah have raised us up prophets in Babylon. Know that thus saith Yahuwah of the king that sit upon the throne of David, and all the people that dwell in this city, and of your brethren that are gone forth unto you into captivity. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, the pestilence, and to make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. And I will persecute them with the sword, with famine, with pestilence, and I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse, an astonishment, a hissing, a reproach among all nations whither I have driven them. Because they have not hearkened to my word, saith Yahuwah, which I sent unto them by my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending, but you would not hear, saith Yahuwah. So he told you, if you listen to them niggas, I'm going to kill you. And that's the part that our people don't want to deal with now. You want to overthrow something. Anybody see, most of these niggas out here, see you Ishmael. See, you going to kill Gedaliah because Gedaliah told you, man, just serve them people and be easy, man. It's going to be well with you.
Does that go on with people kill you thinking they did in Elohim's name?
Absolutely, they're gonna take, but they didn't even think they were doing Elohim service. They just did it because they, man, I don't like what you talking about. You know, every Hebrew nigga want to be a Maccabee. Then they gonna lift up their eyes in hell. Because they didn't fight against. It's not the fact that you slew our enemy. Don't nobody care about that. That's your business. You fought against the will of Yahuwah. That's where you're gonna run into a problem at. You fought against the will of Yahuwah. It's not my place to overthrow somebody who Yahuwah said he gonna overthrow. It's not my business. Hey, you being rude, cuz. You being rude. Come here, little Bible study.
No, let him sit right there.
Oh, you got out of pocket. See, that's gonna be you next.
Didn't I tell you to shut up?
Oh boy, it's gonna get ugly for you, little Bible study. I think you might want to tighten up. 2 Kings 25 and 26.
Shut up.
And all the people, both small and great, and the captains of the armies arose and came to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldees. And then, of course, it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity, Yehoiachin Malachah Yehuda in the 12th month, in the 27th day of the month, that Evil-Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, did lift up the head of Jehoiachin Malachah Yehuda out of the prison. And he spake kindly to him and set his throne above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon. And he changed his prison garments. He did eat bread continually before him all the days of his life. And his allowance was a continual allowance given him of the king, a daily rate for every day, all the days of his life. What that sound like to y'all?
Coming out of the grave.
Well, let's go ahead and look at this. What y'all? Or you might have to help him in that toilet because that doggone knob be messed up. Because that junk come out. First things first. I hit the wrong thing right there. Hold on. When you have prison, right, you have Kalei Bat. Kalei Bat. That is imprisonment, confinement, restraint. Kaf, Lamad, and Aleph. So you turn around and you can sit back and see how Yahusha was subdued with discipline. That's why he was imprisoned and confined. Now, of course, Yehoiachin. I ain't gonna keep hitting the wrong thing. Stop playing around, Eugene. Of course, as Yahuwah has established. Now he is coming out from being in prison and confined. He said he lifted up his head. Let me look at this lift up the head. I mean, you can because he did. Well, he's going to tell you that he lifted it up higher all the kings of Babylon. So he gets exalted to be the king of kings amongst kings. You keep on rolling. So then you got the next one, right? He spake kindly to him. Of course, kindly is good. He spoke good words to him. And then he say he spake kindly to him, set his throne above the throne of kings that were with him in Babylon. And now you're changing your prison garments. Of course, when you got prison garments, again, you got kalah, your garments of confinement. Well, what were you confined in? Hebrews 2 tell you that you were always subject to bondage by reason of death. So also the change in the garments takes you to Zechariah chapter 3 or chapter 4 in regards to what? He lost that. You should have ceased. He gave you ample space. He gave him a long season. Now he got what he wanted. Judgment has, he's taken him into the plains and rendered judgment upon him.
About 10 minutes.
I ain't gonna lie, that's why I called, because I know what was coming. I know what was coming. And boy, he gonna give you that work. And they say, hold on, we get this work. Yeah, hey, that's on him. Zechariah 3, right? You remember Zechariah 3? Yahusha, son of Jehozadak? No, let's look at it real quick. And he showed him Yahusha the high priest standing before the Malachim of Yahuwah, Hashatan standing at his right hand to resist him. And Yahuwah said unto Hashatan, Yahuwah rebuke you, O Hashatan. Even Yahuwah rebuked you that have chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Yahusha was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the Malachim. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him. And he said unto him, behold, I've caused your iniquity to pass from you. I will clothe you with the change of raiment. Now notice, right, again, what I mentioned to you, right? That's Kala, and of course your beged, your garments. He took off the garments of the king that showed forth confinement. We go back to what we were talking about, that he could not be held in by the pains of death, or he was released from his prison. Let's come back over here, right? And of course, what is that bread that's continually before him? Let's pause. What had to be in the temple continually? Shoe bread, which was what? By definition, sanctified bread. So sanctified bread, that's why he had to go back to the place where you could not come. Because now his garments have been changed. He's put on the Ruach HaKadosh and now can give eternal bread before you as he sits before the king. Because he's now been set up above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon. I mean, he is king of kings. Yahusha is elevated over every king of the house of Judah, even David himself. And his allowance was a continual allowance. And that's the last part we got to look at, because we talked about allowance. You know, continual is tamid. That is for perpetuity, continuously. I see they tripping. And it's the same word that we looked at earlier. Ka, meal, food, diet, allowance, ration, victuals, a ration of food. And what you sit back and look at is a continual allowance, a daily rate for every day, all the days of his life. Let's see what a daily rate is. Well, that's got daily all. So we know what daily rate is. That's going to be Yom. Daily rate is the bar. A daily word, a word every day. So when you look at it, he gave him a ration. Again, that's that bread or that's that body. And that's a word every day. And is there not a word going forth every day? Or the word of Yahuwah goes forth every day. Let's go back to Jeremiah 40 because we're gonna finish that chapter out. I think the Kings gave a more detail on what Jeremiah 40 alluded to. What did Jeremiah 40 and 7? Now when all the captains of the forces which were in the fields, even they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah the son of Acham governor in the land, and had committed unto him men and women and children and the poor of the land that were not carried away captive to Babylon, then came Gedaliah to Mitzvah, even Ishmael the son of Nethiah, Johanan, Jonathan the sons of Kariah, Sariah the son of Tamuth, the sons of Ephi, the Nephathite, Jezaniah the son of Maccathite, they and their men. And Gedaliah the son of Acham, the son of Shaphan, sware unto them and to their men, saying, fear not, serve the Chaldeans, dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon. It shall be well with you. As for me, behold, I dwell at Mitzvah to serve the Chaldeans, which will come unto us. But you, gather you wine, summer fruits, oil, put them in your vessels, dwell in your cities that you have taken. Now look what he told them to take. Wine, summer fruit, oil. Well, you know what the wine is. That's the blood of the new covenant. You know what the oil is. That's the Ruach HaKodesh. But can you tell me what the summer fruit is? Can you tell me what the summer fruit is? And he say put them in your vessels, which means to put them in your body. Because if you got the Ruach, that means the oil, that means put the faith in there. You know what I'm saying? If you got the wine, that means take the blood, put the covenant in your heart. But what is the summer fruit? Michael, you know what the summer fruits is? You look like you like summer fruits. You like summer rain? I thought that was your favorite song. And Saran has hit the nail on the head. When you're looking at the summer fruits, when was Yahushua crucified? In the summertime. And what is one of the things that go along with Passover that must be done during that 8 days? You got to wave your first fruits. So when he resurrected from the dead, that is the summer fruit. So if you believe that Yahushua has resurrected from the dead, then of course you would manifest those summer fruits, which would be the fruit of the Ruach, which would be your peace, your long suffering, the gentleness, the goodness, the faith, and all those things of that sort. But guess what these men said that they were going to do? Verse 11, likewise, when all the Yahudim that were in Moab and the Ammonites and Edom and all that were in the countries heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Yehudah and had set over them Gedaliah, the son of Acham, the son of Shaphan, even all the Yahudim returned out of all the places whither they were driven and came into the land of Yehudah to Gedaliah under Mizmowr and gathered wine and summer fruits very much. Moreover, now look at this here, right? Look at all the people who they say came out that were driven out. Individuals came from out of their sin to get the fruits of the spirit and the blood of the covenant, came out of that to put that in their vessels to get wine and summer fruit. Moreover, Jonathan, sons of Zechariah, and all the captains of the forces that were in the fields came to Gedaliah in Mizpah and said unto him, do you certainly know that Baalis, the king of the Ammonites, has sent Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, to slay you? But Gedaliah, the son of Achim, believed them not. Johanan, the son of Kareah, spake to Gedaliah in Mizpah secretly, saying, let me go, I pray you, and I will slay Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and no man shall know it. Wherefore should he slay you, that all the Yahudim which are gathered unto you shall be scattered, and the remnant of Yehudah perish? But Gedaliah, the son of Acham, said unto Johanan, the son of Kareah, you shall not do this thing, for you speak falsely of Ishmael. He didn't want to believe it. Now it's more into it because chapter 41 go into this even some more. I don't even think we're going to have time to deal with it because there's a lot in Jeremiah 41. I think we talked about this one here before. Let's take a try. I got 15 minutes. I can do something with it. Jeremiah 41, continuing in this story arc. Now it came to pass in this. Now I want you to look at this main part, what this man was worried about. The people being scattered. Because what did Mashiach tell you? He that is not with me is not against me. Because if you're gathering, you can't scatter. Let me find that. Come to Matthew. Who doing all that crying? Who that is, Eugene? That little Joe? Why he crying? Why he crying? He want apple? You got apple? I ain't got no apple. Matthew chapter 12. And 30. You got apple? Oh.
You have to right there.
Oh, that made mine. He that is not with me is against me. Notice that when you see the man who came to Gedaliah, was he with him or against him? He was with him because he was seeking for what? The people to be gathered and to remain. Ishmael was against him because he was seeking for the people to be scattered. And he that gather not with me scatter abroad. Let's look at another thing from John chapter 10. 10 and 11. Okay, what you got going on, boy? What you got going on, boy? Oh, you just want to be free, huh? You like to roam? Yeah, you like to roam. John 10 and 11. I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd give his life for the sheep. But he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own sheep are not, see the wolf coming and leave the sheep and flee, and the wolf catch him and scatter the sheep. And that's what Ishmael was seeking to do, because he didn't care nothing about them people. Let's come back to Jeremiah 41. 41 and 2, if you will. Then arose Ishmael. I think I missed something. My bad. Now, this is verse 1. Now, it came to pass in the 7th month, Ishmael, the son of Nethiah, the son of Ishmael of the seed royal, and the princes of the king, even 10 men with him, came to Gedaliah, the son of Acham, to Mizpah, and there they did eat bread together in Mizpah. Now, what does that sound like? My familiar friend has lifted up the hill as they ate bread. That's Psalm 41, and now you get another instance of someone deceiving someone as they sit down to eat bread to one another. Because what did Gedaliah say about him? You speak falsely. Then arose Ishmael, the son of Nethiah, and the 10 men that were with him, and smote Gedaliah, the son of Acham, the son of Shaphan, with the sword, and slew him, whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the land. Because, see, Gedaliah is an example of the good shepherd, because he was for the people. See, these were hirelings, because they put themselves in this space. Yahuwah didn't place them there. Ishmael also slew all the Yahudim that were with him. With Gedaliah at Mizpah, the Chaldeans were found there, the men of war. It came to pass the second day after he had slain Gedaliah, and no man knew. There came certain men from Shechem, from Shiloh, from Samaria, 80 men, having their beards shaven and their clothes rent, having cut themselves with offerings and incense in their hand to bring to the house of Yahuwah. Ishmael, the son of Nethiah, went forth from Mizpah to meet them, weeping along as he went. And it came to pass, as he met with them, he said unto them, come to Gedaliah, the son of Acham. This is an evil nigga. And it was so, when they came in the midst of the city, that Ishmael, the son of Nethiah, slew them and cast them into the midst of the pit, and the men that were with him. You know who that man sound like? Who he sound like to y'all? Don't say the beast, because you're gonna be wrong. Who does man sound like? Who does his works sound similar to? Mama. To your mama. Dang, what you got going on? I say who he sound like. He said, mama. Let me frame it to you like this. Hold on, let me frame it to you like this. Gedaliah was appointed, right? All the people were subject unto him, correct? The people were coming up to worship in Yahuwah's house because of him, correct? And you got Ishmael, son of Nethiah, and what is he doing to the people who roll with Gedaliah? Who does that sound like? That's Paul. That's Paul. He's persecuting all the people who have been set aside who believe. He persecuting all because he didn't just kill Gedaliah. Because remember, he said, why do you persecute me? Then he went and killed everybody with him. And he killed all the people who came up to the house of Yahuwah to worship. Let's look at verse 8. 10 men were found among them that said unto Ishmael, slay us not, for we have treasures in the field of wheat, of barley, of oil, of honey. So he forbare and slew them not among their brethren. Now the pit wherein Ishmael had cast all the dead bodies of men, whom he had slain because of Gedaliah, it was which Asa the king made for fear of Baasha the king of Israel. Ishmael the son of Nethiah filled it with their slain. Then Ishmael carried away captive the residue of the people that were in Mizpah, even the king's daughters, all the people that remained in Mizpah, under Nebo-Zaradan, captain of the guard, and committed had committed to Gedaliah the son of Acham. Ishmael the son of Nethiah carried them away captive and departed to go over to the Ammonites. But when Yohanan, the son of Kariah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him heard of all the evil that Ishmael, son of Nethiah, had done, then they took all the men and went to fight with Ishmael, the son of Nethiah, and found him by the great waters that were in Gibeon. Now it came to pass that when all the people which were with Ishmael saw Jonathan, the son of Kariah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him, they were glad. So all the people that Ishmael had carried away captive from Mizpah cast about and returned and went unto Yohanan, the son of Kariah. And this one tap in on of healing or freeing all those who are oppressed by the devil. Because that's also who Ishmael is representing. Because he took people to take them captive. And then you have Yohanan, or Yohanathan, either way you want to pronounce it, come to set them free. See, let's take a look at the meaning of that name, because it's escaping. It might be a tad bit different. And of course, that is, Yahuwah has graced. Yahuwah has shown grace. Yohanathan, Yahuwah has shown grace. So somebody has came and shown mercy to free those who have been taken captive. And that's what Mashiach, because again, we referenced that before. If the king was lifted up and changed out of his prison garments and given a daily allowance, and what is that to do? He's taking captivity captive, to give gifts unto men or to free men from their captivity so you can take off your prison garments. See, that's the whole purpose of being born again, is you want to take off your prison garments and put on regular garments. See, when you in your flesh, you still got your prison garments on. Because you are confined and you're captive. You're captive to your own desires. That means that makes you exiled, which takes us back to the conversation before that, is that you will be a prey if you trust in Yahuwah. See, Gedaliah trust in Yahuwah, therefore he was a prey. See, the people who trust in Yahuwah are always going to be spoiled. That's what Ephesians 4 delved into, that the wicked persecute the righteous as it is this day. That's not changing. It's a good brother, he would like to say, man, people always say we can't come together. And I get it, but it's not going to happen. What brothers need to really be focused on is one thing, is those who are actually believers of the way coming together. Because you're not saving everybody. You're not bringing everybody together. Being Israelites is not going to be a common bond. The bond has to be in Yahushua. It has to be in Yahuwah. If the bond is not in Yahuwah, they're not coming together. It's not happening. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you offer. I don't care what you say. Because that goes against the word. Y'all should know that from Job 41 every time a baptism is done. He says scales are close together where air can't enter into. You're not coming together with people who are not in the way. And you knowing you an Israelite and putting garments on and changing your name does not mean that you are in that man's body. It's only bodies of those who believe that are going to come together and unite. Again, because you want something that this man did not say was going to happen. I know what most brews want. They want every congregation with every member coming together as one. And it is an ideal situation and circumstance. But that's not going to happen. Because everybody in every congregation don't believe. You know what I'm talking about? When you look at them 7 synagogues that are referenced in the book of Revelation, how many of them were actually doing what they were supposed to be doing? 1. To where he had no rebuke for them. He didn't have a rebuke for the synagogue in Philadelphia. He had a rebuke for the other 6. Now you would have to sit back and look at that he would go through every assembly in the earth and he would have no rebuke for no one. And that means all these people could be unified together. Because if he got a rebuke, then there's going to be somewhere where somebody not going to be unified because somebody going to be moving over here. And see, dudes think we can't come together because of doctrine. And it ain't because of doctrine. It's because niggas' hearts is black. And niggas' faith ain't right. Ain't about no doctrine. Some people won't unify because of doctrine, but it ain't got nothing to do with it. We looking at it ain't about differences, boy. Niggas don't believe. Because you're going to ask somebody to have the sacrifice to watch the back of another man or somebody whom they don't even trust. So if they don't even trust the man who you're supposed to be serving, how are you going to be able to trust him to watch his back? You're not going to be able to do that. You can't be that naive to say, I seen dudes say, watch for camp hoppers. You got to vet people. I ain't vetting nobody. I ain't trying to talk about niggas say, even if you got to run a background check, I ain't running no background check on nobody. Yahuwah already done ran the background check. He can't do nothing what Yahuwah don't allow him to do. Around here, I ain't got no time to be running. The people back then wouldn't do it, vet nobody. If you brought your monkey behind around here and you was with that, see, the reason why these dudes want you to vet and do all this here is, you got other niggas in here on some folly. Because if niggas ain't on no folly and a nigga trying to start some folly, they gonna check that nigga and that nigga gonna get from around there with that folly. It don't take much. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to bring nobody up in front of nobody who doing this or doing that. Niggas get checked. You like to say, hey man, what the hell you got going on, bro? Or y'all know when niggas be trying to, now that's if you're not hip to the game. Some of y'all probably a little bit more hip to the game than you may have used to be in your youth. Where you ain't, sometimes when you're young, you don't be quick to pick up on people who trying to cause chaos. You know what I'm saying? Because it can be subtle if they good at it. You know what I'm saying? If they good at it, you don't necessarily, you be like, that nigga's weird. You know what I'm saying? You going about your business. But if you a little experienced or you more discerning and perceptive, you can peep like, this nigga on some other type of time. I ain't fooling with this nigga, or you gonna check this nigga immediately. Because when you're younger, you don't have a lot of experience in dealing with chaotic people. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a lot of men is just as, if not more chaotic than some women. Look at that, seem to disgust you. I understand. Huh? I understand. Now, and I'm just letting you know that. Because if that's the case, Mashiach could have vetted his apostles. You know how many people this man had? We just read it last night. All them people he had following him, and they stopped walking with him. You think this man took the time to vet them? People just started following this man wherever he was going. Did he think he tell Peter, hey man, you gonna have to check that nigga, make sure he's straight? What they doing to that baby? They ain't doing right by that baby. Ain't nobody talking to you, boy. Yeah, I'm about to talk. Yeah, my money did belt. Come on. Come on, Joe. Come over here and come get you some. Come on. Come over here and come get you some. Come on over here and come get you some, Joe. Come on. You jump down? Come on. You want me to get on my ankles for you? And get up there and sit down. I was out of Jeremiah 41, man. We about to the end of this here. Now, this is this historical stuff. I know we don't always go over all these chapters all the time. That's a lot of trash. Take that trash out with you.
Okay, now that's a lot of trash.
There it is. Go ahead, Miss Spotless. Go and take it out the door. That's your name, man. That's what you do business as. That's your brand. What'd you say? Oh, shoot. You might as well. It's not in your contract.
You are.
So we don't have no proof of that. Because all we know, the trash in your hand. That's like telling nigga, this ain't my dope officer, but the dope in your hand. And you were being nice carrying that dope. Now you're going to jail. Verse 14, though. So all the people that Ishmael had carried away captive from Mizpah and cast about and returned and went to Johanan the son of Kareah, but Ishmael the son of Nethiah escaped from Johanan with 8 men and went to the Ammonites. Then Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the force that were with him and all the remnant of the people whom he had recovered from Ishmael the son of Nethiah from Mizpah after he had slain Gedaliah the son of Acham, mighty men of war, and the women and the children and the eunuchs whom he had brought again from Gibeon. And they departed and dwelt in the habitation of Chimham, which is by Bethlehem, to go enter into Egypt. Because of the Chaldeans, they were afraid of them, because Ishmael the son of Nethiah had slain Gedaliah the son of Acham, who the king of Babylon made governor in the land. Of course, some people be a little nervous. You done killed the ruler. Blessed be the name of Yahuwah indeed. So hallelujah for Yahushua the word. That's just a little bit more history. Going on down the line. Are you going into Babylon? Ain't that somebody killed somebody because they got to stay in the land? He really did that because he was down with the Ammonites. He was down. What you want? What you want? I need y'all to go sit down. Yeah, when I'm finished. Because you came over here to put your face in my camera. That's what you came over here. Hey, but I appreciate y'all time this evening, man. Bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, man. We'll keep on rolling through the book of Jeremiah, reference some more historical points in regards to what led us going down into the house of into Babylon. Again, blessings out the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, to the next. Get out my camera. Yes. Come on.